Jen Spencer. Welcome to my 10-minute book club. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited today because we have author Loree Lough. She is the author of over 100 books in several different genres, and she is delightful. You are going to love getting to know her today. Please remember that you can find out more about Loree and her books right up above here, or I've also posted some things in earlier posts this week if you want to find out how to get her books or find out more about her. Today, if you want to comment or ask a question, please do it in the comments below. After 24 hours, we will pick a winner for 2 copies of Bringing Rosie Home and also 1 copy of Jesse and James. The book that we're featuring today on Jen Spencer's 10-minute book club is Bringing Rosie Home, which is a Harlequin heartwarming book that Loree has written, and I love the cover. It's going to be so fun. You're just going to love hearing more about Loree in this book. So without further ado, I want to introduce Loree Lough. Welcome, Loree. I am so excited to have you here today.
I'm so excited to be here.
So we've worked on projects together before. Tell the readers a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm recuperating from a broken femur, which I broke it hiking in the woods near our cabin with our grandkids.
Did you fall?
And I had surgery, and they put in a titanium rod and drywall screws to hold it in place. It's a pretty ugly x-ray, but I'm doing great. I'm hardly using my little cane. My sister sent it to me. It's called Big Alex. Big Alex holds me up.
So did you fall, or what happened?
We were climbing over big giant falling down trees and around things and under things, and everything was fine. And I got to a clearing, or looked like a clearing, and turned out there was a log about that big around under the leaves. And I rolled on it, and I literally did a face plant. I had scratched corneas, and my face was all scratched, but the leg was, and I had to lay there for 3.5 hours while the ambulance tried to find us up on top of the mountain.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a day. I don't want to ever repeat a day like that. And I wouldn't wish it, if I had an enemy, I wouldn't wish it on them.
Oh my goodness.
It was a bad day.
That is terrible.
Anyway,
I'm glad you're recovering.
Oh yeah, I'm doing great. We're in our we moved into this apartment after 35 years in the same house, but that was our 6th house. So here we are in this little house, and it's got just enough room for the grandkids to come over and eat
and leave after not very long.
Well, we've got a little extra room, the trundle bed, and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I've been married forever. I think this August, 49 years, and 2 daughters, 7 grandkids, and 1 great grandson.
Oh, congratulations! Oh, that is amazing.
We like family stuff.
Well, so you've written over 100 books. Tell us about this book we're featuring today, and maybe just generally about your writing.
Well, I go back and forth between historical and contemporary, between general fiction and Amish fiction and other types of romance. And this particular book was inspired by a friend of mine whose daughter went missing several years ago.
Really?
Little girl. And when I was listening, trying to be a sounding board for her as she was in the search, I remembered all that she was going through. And once they found the little girl, there was so much recovery time, mental recovery mostly, and because she was an emotional basket case. So I based this book, which is called Bringing Rosie Home, for Kensington's The Lighthouse series, I think. I should check. I'm terrible.
The cover says Harlequin, so just.
I know. Yeah, I just can't keep. People say, "What's your favorite book?" Well, this one that I'm working on, right? So what else are you going to say? It's like saying I picked my favorite grandkid or my favorite kid. So yeah, that's what this book is about. The couple at the beginning of the story it's after the girl goes missing, and she's been missing for a time. And it's been a lot of emotional strain on both the husband and the wife. And this was also part of my friend's story. And they separated for a time. And when they find the little girl, they have to get back together because they know she's going through enough already. She doesn't need to be, walk right into a broken marriage. She needs to feel like she's home again. So it's hard because they've been living apart for many, many months. And she's seeing a psychiatrist, and he's just doing it on his own. And I think it's a good story because it's a true story. Of course, I fictionalized a whole lot, but and the setting is fictionalized because I don't want anybody to recognize her or the little girl. So that's what the story's about. Bringing Rosie home. Yeah.
Well, I love, do you feel like it's a deep dive into the characters too? That story sounds very compelling. Motivations and just characters and what brings them together finally.
Yeah, it's an overcoming of a lot of hard feelings because the mother was with the little girl on a field trip. And she was, how you go on a field trip and they give you charge of a bunch of kids. And she had command of about 10 kids. And while she was seeing to one who had wandered off, her daughter got abducted. So her husband blamed her. He wasn't there. And he blamed her. She blamed herself. What was she doing watching out for somebody else's kid more closely than her own? So it was traumatic and really psychological damage for both of them. And when the little girl finally gets home, I'm not going to give too much detail about what happened to her while she was gone, but I think readers will be, if not pleasantly surprised, satisfied to know that she wasn't severely abused, so that her coming home isn't quite as traumatic and painful as some of the stories we've heard. But it wasn't an easy story to write because it was true. And I wanted to do justice to my friend's experience. I wanted to embellish some of what she couldn't or wouldn't talk about. I had to dig deep and try to figure out what would she have been thinking, what would she have been going through, how would she have reacted to this and to that. Same with the husband, whom I don't know as well, but he comes to life in this story because his character is there. He's very stoic and kind of withholding of physical demonstrations of affection and stuff, but he changes. And I think that's the big challenge for those of us who write fiction, is to try to develop characters that are real enough that when you're reading about them, you go, well, that reminds me of so-and-so, someone or yourself. You might be looking at yourself in a mirror, kind of, on a printed page. That's my goal always. It sounds kind of twisted and weird to say, I like when my readers write to me or meet me at a book signing and say, you made me cry. And I'm like, good.
I love that.
That means I did my job. Or if they say, I read that book in one day, and then they apologize. Oh, I'm so sorry. I know it took you longer than that to write. But if I did my job, they should be able to breeze right through it without a whole lot of stops. So
right. Well, and they don't want to put it down, right? That's, to me, that's the biggest compliment, is I did not want to put this book down.
Have you ever got a letter from a reader's husband telling you, stop writing these books because my wife doesn't do the laundry, she doesn't cook, she won't go shopping because she's always got one of your books in her hand? And it's like, well, gee, how do I take that? I don't know what to say to him. I say, I will pray that she finds a break in the story that allows her to cook her dinner. What else can you say?
I will pray that you will learn how to cook so that she can do more reading.
There's the upside. Yeah.
Right.
You're now, if she ever decides that you're kind of bossy and she's not going to stay with you, you'll be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I've set my timer and now I've lost it. Let me see. Okay. We're doing good. Okay,
Good.
so that is great. That sounds like an amazing book, and I know that readers are going to love picking it up. Now I just want to ask you some fun questions. First of all,
Okay.
what is the worst movie that you think everyone should see?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I have
It is-
actually seen that.
It's
And it is
old.
so funny.
It's so stupid that you can't help but laugh. There's some, I can't even describe it. I don't know whether my favorite scene is the characters being chased down the street by a whole bunch of tomatoes, angry tomatoes, or were they coming up out of the sink drain? I love that movie. It's just so dumb.
Is
So,
that the
so
one
dumb.
where somebody's like, is that blood? No, it's tomato juice or something like
Yes,
that.
yes,
I
exactly.
just remember because
It's
it's a
just
really
crazy.
old movie, right?
Yes,
And
it is.
just
It's one of the first so-called horror movies spoofed, and it's because it's not scary. You can't get truly kind of like The Blob. Remember that one? It's kind of like everybody was, oh, it's so. What's scary about that? I mean, Steve McQueen was a good actor, and how could he be afraid of this?
He
thing?
looked scary. He looked scared.
He did look scared. He did look terrified. But anyway,
Oh,
so that's my advice. See the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. If you really
okay,
want to laugh.
that is great. I will put that. I'll watch that again because it's
Me
been a long time. So
Yeah.
okay, last question. You're stuck on a desert island. Would you rather have a lifetime supply of toilet paper or a lifetime supply of chocolate?
Toilet paper, because when they find me, I don't want to be all fat and chocolatey. I'd rather be clean. So toilet paper. Plus,
There you go.
during COVID, we came mighty close to being without it, and I realized it's a really necessary staple in your house. So,
Yes,
yeah, if
you
I
are a
had
woman
much
after
as-
my own heart.
and I'm a chocoholic. So for me to say that, you know how dependent I became on seeing a steady supply of those rolls
Yeah.
stacked up here and there.
Yes, I always need my own bathroom with a flushable toilet
Yes.
and my own bed. I'm good. So
Yep, pretty much.
well, Loree, thank you so much. So tomorrow night, we're going to pick 3 winners. Loree's giving away 2 copies of Bringing Rosie Home. I'm giving away 1 copy of my new book, Jesse and James. And thank you so much for being here. We're the social media links for Loree, if you want to learn more about her, I've put them up above in that section. And just so happy to have you here, Loree. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. I've had a good time.
Good. Me too.
Almost as much fun as when we write together. We work on similar projects. That was fun
That
too.
takes a lot longer.
Yeah, that's a lot more work. This was fun. That's work. Yeah.
That's right. Well, thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week. Thanks, Loree.
Thank you.